check out our shirt on Teespring.
Story, something I had to deal with while I was staying at a homeless shelter in the San Francisco Bay Area. Not everybody in this area is open-minded, and some people will use religion to oppress other people for their beliefs. There are other ways people try to control your life. Anyway, you think, a story that happened to me at a homeless shelter in the San Francisco Bay Area. I was kind of staying in a section that used to be a classroom, but they had turned it into a bed area. That's one of the cool things about it. I was not part of the main area in the shelter. I'm a 47-year-old male. I started painting my fingernails as my way of protesting anti-drag queen laws that have been passed in Tennessee. People probably discuss and spread lies saying it sexualizes and grooms kids. But there's not much difference between taking your kids to Hooters or places like that, or to racist groups or churches that groom kids at a very young age to believe certain things before they're old enough to make their own decisions. So, back to the homeless shelter cult. They must have been waiting for me to come back. They kind of knew what time I would come back because I do the same thing every day. When I entered the area where my bed was, I noticed they were all looking at me. I didn't really seem to care, or maybe I just didn't care at the time. Later I found out why they were looking at me. And they were waiting for me to come back. The so-called cult leaders started saying that they find my fingernail polish offensive and that people in the public area outside of the shelter may feel the same way. I kind of laughed and informed them, this is, again, shelter policy. If you notice, there's the pride sticker flag at the front entrance and a sign above it saying that all are welcome, as long as I'm not offensive to people regarding their sexuality, religious beliefs, or just being sexist. And I told him, this is against the shelter's policy, what you guys are doing, because I had an issue with the so-called religious co-leader. He talks about trying to help people out, but he can't help himself. Also, these people should worry about themselves, figure out ways to get out of the shelter and better their lives instead of being busybodies around here. One of the guys, I told him, you have facial tattoos and people will find that offensive. So are you telling me that every time I put something on or do something with my body, I need to go outside and ask permission from everybody to see if it is okay? Now, what I do with my body, very nice days. You've got a bunch of fools that believe that the United States is a Christian country, but there's nothing that says anything about that. A lot of people don't understand the Constitution of the United States. The first thing I did was stay away from people who are bigots, homophobic, and sexist because I believe that way of thinking has no evidence from a scientific point of view. None of this is true, and it's a very barbaric and stupid way of thinking. I can't believe that I live in a time when people still have those kinds of ideas. It all starts when they're young, and they're being groomed before they can think for themselves. Thank you for watching the rest of this video. Please like, subscribe, and leave a comment.